YouTube, what's going on? It's Preacher. So, as a new owner op, I'm still learning. I'm still learning dealing with these brokers and how to fill them out. I think that's one of the, I'm not going to say the hardest thing, but that's one of the more interesting things that I'm learning on this journey, how to deal with brokers. Not how to book loads, that kind of like comes easy. You know where you want to go, you look at the load boards, you call the brokers that you've been working with to see if they have anything going in that direction, things of that nature. But when you have to deal with the brokers and when they lie to you, it can really hurt your pocket. All right, I have booked this load with Navajo, right? And I asked the brokers all the regular questions. Okay, is it palletized freight? Is there going to be any lumber fees? Is it a straight through? Is there an appointment? Is there an open window for the appointment? Or is it a set appointment time? Could you get there early? You go through the whole spiel. Because I don't like products put on the floor because they take too long to unload. So I always try to make sure that they are palletized freight. Okay, and there's no touch. My shoulder still is not ready for me to be doing any driver assist or anything like that, right? So the guy told me, yeah, okay, it's going to be a 4 o'clock delivery. I'm like, okay, that works with them. Oh, it should take nothing but like 45 minutes to get unloaded. Blase, it's palletized freight. I'm like, okay, all right, and then it was going for the price I needed, and it gets me up to my dedicated freight that I got, right? So I'm like, okay, so I booked the load, things like that. It's going to Walmart. I didn't have good experience with Walmart, and I had bad experience with Walmart. But I knew for the load time, I had up to 9 o'clock to get to my next load that takes me up to my dedicated freight. So when I went to pick this load up, I back in, get the paperwork done, okay, whatever, whatnot. And then it took them like 2.5 hours to load me. I'm like, why is it taking so long? It's like, I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's see. See it like that? So I'm at this other place, right? And, the same place that I was picking up at, I have to do the same thing here. You back your trailer into the door, you have to unhook, then you move it forward. So, you can't feel nothing, you can't feel what it's doing. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. But it took them like 2.5 hours to load me. I'm like, man, look at him, man. It's taking so long to load me. I'm like, man, what's going on? I go in there and get all my stuff. I pull my truck out the door. As soon as I look up in it, everything is packed on the floor. It's not even palletized. I was like, what is this mess right here? So I called the broker. I said, man, you told me that this was palletized freight. There's no way in the world they're going to get all this stuff off my trailer in 45 minutes. Not by hand, you're not. No, I done that. When I was on Family Dollar, okay? I done that. Taking all the boxes, putting it on rollers, rolling it down. I'm like, this is, what kind of mess is this? This is what you told me. And then the weight was off by 10,000 pounds too. I'm like, it's 10,000 pounds more than what you told me. It's not palletized, and you told me that it was palletized. I said, this is going to mess me up when I deliver this load. I have to pick up my other load by 9 o'clock, and it's a 2-hour ride. He said, well, your appointment is for 4 o'clock, a 2-hour ride. You should be able to get there on time. I'm just like, man, don't worry. So I get to Walmart, right? When I get to Walmart and I checked in about like 3:15. The lady go tell me straight up, listen, we finna get ready to change shifts, so they're not going to even start on your truck. And I said, then what time you talking about them starting? Probably 5:30. I said, 5:30? What? I said, my appointment time is at 4 o'clock. What you mean they ain't going to start on me till an hour and a half after my appointment time? So why don't y'all even schedule an appointment time at 4 o'clock if you're not going to even start until 5:30? Because of a shift change. Y'all know y'all been changing shifts around the same time. That's so stupid to do that. So now I got to call the broker back. Now I'm pissed because it's messing me up. It's really messing me up. And his solution was, oh, don't worry, we're going to compensate you for your time. I said, forget the time. It messes me up because if I don't get out of here early enough, I can't get my other load that's going to take me up to my dedicated freight that I got. All right. Well, we'll just work and see and things like this. 6 o'clock, they haven't even started unloading. So now I've been there for 3:15, and 6 o'clock, they ain't even started unloading me yet. I'm like, look at this here mess right here. Look at this here mess. This is crazy. I called the broker back, and I was pissed at Navajo. You know what I'm saying? I was pissed. I really did. I told him this is very unprofessional. You told me a bunch of lies for me to get this unloaded because you needed this load done. Just for me to book this load. Now I have to cancel 2 loads because of this one load. And you just like, well, you gonna give me detention pay. Okay, why? You gonna give me detention pay for 2 hours. But what happens is now I can't pick up a load tonight that's gonna take me to get my dedicated freight. And by that time, nobody is unloading in my area or getting loads. You calling brokers, they're not even picking up the phones. It's just too late. I'm a done deal. So I had to cancel 2 loads for what? For $120? Now those 2 loads, it was pissing me off big time because those 2 loads gives me $2,600 for 2 days. So because of that, it messed me all up. I had to cancel those loads. That was $2,600. And I had to try to find 2 other loads to try to get me up there now, right? And the only loads I was able to find, especially with this here weekend going on and things like that, only 2 loads I was able to get at the last minute like that, it's only going to give me $1,600. So I'm $1,000 off now of what I would have made if it wasn't for Navajo. And I'm like, oh, your solution is the $120, $60 per hour for detention pay. That's not covering the $1,000 I'm going to be off for this week. You know, it's just like, it just make you real mad when you talk to these brokers and they do a whole bunch of lies. Or you try to book the load, and then you and the broker agree on the price, then the broker be like, oh, hold on a minute, well, let me get your name and number, call you back so I can see if I can get this price approved. I'm like, what you mean so you can see if you can get this price approved? Why agree to a certain amount and then you tell me, well, let me call you back to see if I can get this amount approved? It got to a point now, after I've been doing this since like the middle of November, I told the broker this morning, I said, listen, don't fill me full of lies and think that's going to hold me until you try to find somebody else or see if you can get somebody else to do it for cheaper. All right, I'd rather you be honest with me, so that way when I see your brokerage again, I know y'all straight shooters. Instead of when I see your broker again, because I have a broker list of brokers not to call no more when they do stuff like this. I just told the dude, I said, I'd rather you just be honest with me. Be honest with me and be like, listen, what you is offering, we're not trying to pay this at that time. You know, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pass on your offer if you can't go down. And if I can't get nothing, I give you a call. If you didn't book the other load by then, you know, it's no hard feelings. I'd rather they do stuff like that than just to be lying to you. Because I started talking to the broker, I said, listen, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to be looking for another load. All right, so either you can book it and send the rate card over and we can do this, because once we hang up, I'm finding another load. You know, and then just give me 2 minutes, just give me 2 minutes, just give me 2 minutes. Guy told me, just give me 2 minutes. I said, so why you need to hang up with me if you just need 2 minutes? If you just need to call your supervisor, you can put me on hold, call your supervisor and let me know, say yeah or nay, right? I'm like, that's not gonna work. So maybe I was in my feelings because of how Navajo did me all those lies just to get me to take the load. Now the load paid good. Now I'm not saying that the load did not pay good. Okay, it only was going 400 miles, and I got $1,500 to go 400 miles. So the load paid good. I'm not saying nothing about how much the load is. It's just how they lied about it to get me to take that load. Because I never would have took that load if it wasn't on Palatines. Because I already know what time it is. And when you're dealing with these times, the place closed. They're not going to sit here and wait. And that's going to mess me up. So I lost 2 loads because of 1 load, and just to get an extra $120 on that 1 load. And it just messed me up. So I had to wind up doing a 34-hour reset, to have fresh hours. So now I got to run all week long. Today is Friday. I'm picking up a load now. Now I'm running all week long, all weekend long, trying to make this $1,000 up. So it's just when these brokers start lying. But let you do stuff. They giving you check calls. They calling you all the time. Or they want you to call when you arrived at the place. They want you to call after you they got loaded. They call you in the morning to make sure you do all this particular stuff. They trying to call to make sure you doing what you're supposed to do. But then they lying about things to get the load. And then I told the dude, when he called, he said, well, think about that. Don't worry, we're going to compensate you for your time. I said, man, thank you for compensating me for the time. You have to do that anyway because it's in the contract. It's not like you're doing me any special favors at all. I said, I just know not to use you no more. I may use Navajo, but I'm not going to use that broker. And I got the broker name for Navajo because it just could be one broker. They got a whole bunch of brokers. So not to say I won't use that brokerage. I just won't deal with that particular broker because that particular broker did me wrong. And as a new owner op, I guess there's things that you have to learn. Brokers are gonna lie. And they're gonna lie. They're not gonna be very forthcoming with stuff. You already know that. So I do understand that. But when it messes you up so bad, it's almost like I'd rather deal with the brokers that I'm dealing with on a consistent basis because it's a consistent price. Okay, it's a consistent price. But because how my truck was down, my guarantee, my direct shipper, this particular week I didn't do because I wasn't sure about my truck, being ready to go. So I didn't want to schedule the loads, and my truck wasn't going to be ready to go, for whatever reason. So I had to go back on the spot market again and book loads from them. Now the loads I deal with on a regular basis, I'm back to that next week. It's just this week I had to book 2 other loads, and I'm down $1,000. So I picked my other load up on Monday. Normally I pick my direct shipping loads up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, for this week, because of this, I'm picking it up on Monday, and then I'm gonna go back to picking it up on Thursday like I normally do. So that's how I'm gonna wind up doing that. It's just like, man. So Tuesday I got to find me a little short hop somewhere on Tuesday. Somewhere in Florida, that pay like $500, $600. And then on Wednesday, do my regular other load to get me back up there. To get my load on Thursday to live on Friday. Then I figure, well, on Friday I still do my other little thing that I do, find another load for $500, $600. And then that gives me my $1,000 that I'm missing for this particular week. And then I still will find me a little short hop on Saturday. It's plenty of loads going from Niagara, the water plant in Jupiter to Miami. So I'll probably do that Saturday and do 2 loads there to give me another $900. That's a total trip. What is this? 86 miles to Miami from there, and then back, and just do 4 of those. Go there and back, then there and back, and then be done for the day. Do 2 of those for $900. And I'll make it up, but that means I have to work Saturday. That's the only thing that means. It's like I got to work Saturday, and how I do my hours. Just one of those type of things. It's like, man, and hopefully, normally if I do running like that, I only have 7 hours to work with on Saturday to go there and back, and then there and back. So, but once I drop the second time, I can go on PC. So I'll be all right. Anyway, this video is already too long, man. But, it just, being a new owner op when brokers lie, it gets frustrating. You just got to get used to it, man. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.